Hello everyone, and welcome to Off the Dials Creator Clash. We have round 1 coming soon, and it's going to be Alienated versus Splatoon WHO, I believe?
Splatoon 2, more like Splatoon WHO. Is their full name.
Of shortening team names when commentating.
Oh, I've got that online. I need to turn stuff off. I've got volume coming out of every which corner of me right now. I've got volume coming out from my left side, volume coming out of me right side. I've got people pinging me. I've got chaos on all fronts right now. But yeah, Sky, how are you going today? Okay. Let's not worry about that too much. In case you are showing up now and don't know what this event is, this is the Creator Clash, where we have 24 creators coming in from around the world. Like we got Australian times, we got people in Korea, I believe, we got people in the US, like all around the world, and battling off in this IDTGA style tournament where you're a free agent, you've been sorted into a team, and you're in this to win it. Yeah, it's pretty much what you expect. If you don't know what IDTGA it is, you can just quickly find it at https otd.inc/IDTGA. Will get you all the information there is to know about your standard IDTGA season if this is your first time here with us today. But our first match today will be Splatoon 2, more like Splatoon WHO versus Alienated. And hopefully it's gonna look great.
I'm very curious to see like how much coordination that these teams show, because similarly to something like It's Dangerous to Go Alone, these teams don't have a lot of time to prepare to work with each other all too much. And more often than not, from personal experience, not usually able to like get a good time that works for everybody. So sometimes a lot of the teams playing, their first time playing together is literally playing the tournament together.
Yeah, it can be like that sometimes. I know I've seen a few teams streaming their practices. And it's been really great to watch and see. I just realized I'm not actually watching my preview that I get. I get a lovely, nice preview of what you guys did get to see, and I wasn't actually watching that. So, as you can see here are the first 3 maps we'll be playing today, and note that for the preliminary rounds, this will be a play all 3. So we'll be going through, even if, say, Alienated win the first 2 straight through, we will still be getting that 3rd game, because this is a Swiss bracket. Therefore, every point matters. No matter, so you get a point for every game win. If you got a bye, which there shouldn't be any buys in this tournament, you will get you get points for the whole bye round. You get points if you actually win the set. But yeah, our matches in this round, we have the Reef Splat Zones, Sturgeon Shipyard on Tower Control, and Snapper Canal on Splatzone's on the Reef, Tower Control on Sturban's Shipyard, and Rainmaker on Snapper Canal. There we go. Got it third time round. What do you think about those maps, Sky?
Honestly, I don't know. Maps for me, I'm very neutral towards. You could literally throw Moray at me, and I'd probably kiss you. That is not a joke. I probably would. But basically, I see Zones Reef all the time, especially for counter picks. In any tournament. Uh, Sturgeon Shipyard and Snapper, especially Tower Control and Rainmaker. I feel like they're seen in tournaments. I feel like they're just not seen often.
Yeah, well, you got to spice some things up every now and then. You can't remain the thing like. There's so many maps and mode combinations you can do. You have to give it some variety. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I know knowing the community and how the community shapes up to be a lot of the time, it tends to be more so than not that they like playing maps that are more competitively viable, which is completely understandable, and I understand why at the end of the day. But also, it's boring. It gets boring both to watch and both to play on. So
Yeah. Um. Sorry, I'm just getting some. There's just chaos happening on the back end and the front end. For some reason, though, that team has not been updated through on that. So I will read out who is on Splatoon who. I don't know why that hasn't come through, unfortunately. But on Splatoon who, we have, let me just pop this up. Popgun, Melina, Kraken, and Shinex. On the side of Alienated, we have that Super 2 dude, or just dude as many people call him, Shetty, Pika, and Nitrogue. And there is a delay on one of the players, so we might be either doing a 3v3 or 3v4. There's kind of chaos happening in the help desk chat right now, so it's looking very, very chaotic in there. Just messages going left, messages going right.
sounds like a normal tournament.
Yeah, like what you expected. Just because these were creators, we were gonna have normality.
I mean, I think from what I've seen from some of the creator streams in their like descriptions and everything, that this is their first tournament. So I expect that there's definitely going to be maybe a bit of questions if my experience with running something like low ink has anything to say.
We just got a message that dude just got beamed up by the aliens.
Oh
Which is great. But yeah, that match will be underway hopefully very shortly. And there we go. That the person running the stream, aka Wolf, saving us from having to open up Excel spreadsheet each time I wanted to find who was on the other team. And there we go. You can see now properly who is on each team. And yeah, there you go. You got Popcorn, Milena, Kraken, and Shinex.
I think something that'll be interesting to see is seeing how two people who come from the same org in regards of TOing work together. Like, just to see how they work together.
Yeah. Well, you're from the same org. What do you think it's going to be like? You're from there? Your family?
True, it's my family. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Popgun does play consistently. Kraken has been playing consistently as of lately, winning did 5 championships
Wow.
with Triggerfish Supremacy, and honestly, having played with Kraken before, I think if they can work well around the fact that he's a brush player, then I feel like all of them will do really good. Or they'll let Kraken carry them. It depends. Used to have him
Well,
carrying me realistically.
if it's something like Clan Blitz, I'm probably expecting Kraken to like just keep on throwing in those clans in like there's no tomorrow. Um and just going back and forth like that. Um I I really want to know where this match is going. Let's see if there are people actually in the lobby. So I'll get word about that soon if we actually have the people in the lobby or we're just trying to sort out this issue. Because things happen and we have to work around it. I have to work around it on 2 hours of sleep, and that's fine. Welcome to the life of a TO.
The life of a TO, where sleep deprivation is just a common thing. We don't
Yep.
advocate for it, but it just happens to be that way.
Same as dropout. It's not a tournament without a dropout. Um, yeah. I think I'll just confirm we are doing a 3v4 or 3v3. If 3v3, who subbing? There we go. Okay. They just said they don't care if we start now. That doesn't answer my question.
They do not mind a 3v4. They really do be just saying 3v4 who?
um, Supposedly going to be here soon.
Soon TM.
If we can
Getting
even
people into
maybe.
lobbies is just
Right.
it's a fun time.
Okay, it's determined a 3v4. That's what we're going to be doing.
Alright, alright.
We'll see how that goes, right?
Welcome to Creator Clash, where the chaos ensues more than a normal tournament.
um, yep. So we'll just get that match hopefully started soon. They'll now be selecting their weapons, of which we will have no idea of what they're selecting until oh god, Kraken.
Oh no!
Until the game actually starts. The interesting thing about being in a server with 24 creators is that there are some interesting things that these people say. For example, hold on, I'm cold. Now we need 1 hour to warm up.
Oh no.
Which is obviously a joke. Please be a joke.
I mean, knowing the way that, creators do a haha funny, they're probably joking. Hopefully.
Yes, I
Maybe.
would assume so.
I mean, I suppose it depends on who it came from.
Oh, there we go. Looks like we're getting into progress. So we are now heading into round 1. Splatoon 2, more like Splatoon WHO. versus Alienated. We're going on Splat Zones on the Reef. On the side of Splatoon WHO, there's Kraken with that brush, and there's the 3 players from Alienated. On the green side is, I believe, Splatoon WHO with the Ink Brush, Splattershot Pro, the Hydra, and the Tri-Slosher. On the side of Alienated, we've got 3
No.
Cancer Gals.
Oh my god. And here we have, first off, yeah, no, this is certainly a creative tournament. Obviously, nobody on the side of Alienated has a single bomb. They have triple wall here, but they also have triple booyah. Not that it'll do them very much good if they're gonna continuously go down here, as well, Shinex and Kraken do a pretty good job of cleaning them up and taking them out.
There you go, Kraken with the brush, but then getting taken down by Pika, but then Pika being taken down by Shinix. Splat going left, Splat going right. That did end up for another white for Alienated. Shinix just hiding there, taking down that player. Just getting some lobs. The Booyah Bomb coming out, but not in the zone. Their players are just trying to avoid that right now. Shinix is here with the Tri-Slosher, trying to spot some players. Shetty does go down, and yeah, another one. That is the unfortunate thing about a 3v4. It is very hard to break out, especially when the gals don't. They're all the same weapon. You're not going to get too much variety, unfortunately.
I mean, I think the biggest issue, aside from the fact that they're getting incessantly locked out because Shinex and Kraken just keep going up into their base and just keeping them locked out there, definitely a lack of variety, but 100% due in part of how KGAL works. They could have definitely made this work. It's just unfortunate that it seemingly they just weren't patient enough, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, because how you play it, you've got a DC, right? You've got a, it's what it is. Like, let's, you're playing with a DC. What you got to play very differently to how you play a DC match compared to how you play your standard 4v4. You got to be a lot more protective of your bases. You got to be knowing who's there, a bit more conservative of your specials, because your specials, unless you got something like an inkjet, or you could actually use inkjet as an emergency special, but something like Stingray, you can't use that in a fight or flight response.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got your baller. Splashdown used to be good, but now everyone likes to cancel it, so
I mean, you can get really lucky with Splashdown, so I wouldn't say that it's inherently the worst special, because I feel like there's
I
definitely
wasn't
worse
saying that at
things.
all.
I mean, I'm not saying that you're saying that. It's just in general. I hear a lot of people say that Splashdown is just the worst special in the game.
I think it's a special that is definitely, it's still strong. Particularly if you're going in the lower level, like if you're still in like S plus is hard to say, but if you're in like the letter ranks, Splashdowns is still a very good and valid special to use. But when you're getting up to high ranks, you have to be more mindful that yes, people will cancel you. That is what people do now. We have had this game for nearly 5 years, I think, at this point. The skill level is getting up there. You see people with 27, 28, 2900 solo rank power. That is unfathomable to me to get that high.
Honestly, being able to get so high with ranked it's like we've seen it time and time again. It's very very possible, but it's honestly I wonder like how people do it so much because it just feels like such a thing that just puts such a strain on your mental when it comes to the game. Cause like I can't imagine just going into solo just for a high power. Like, I can only imagine going in and playing personally to just want to play.
Yeah. Um. Okay. They just said another 5 minutes until their player will be back. So therefore, I will make an executive decision. If it's 5, we have. So there's a total of 40 minutes in this round.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore another 15 minutes. And if we've got 2 more matches to go, that is exactly 15 minutes, and that's including getting teams ready. So I'm gonna say we're gonna have to go. Um, we'll go another match because then we'll run out of time. So it is unfortunate. Hopefully they'll be able to make game 3. Get some points on the board. That would be great to see. But what is a Splatoon tournament without a dropout?
Maybe not
Even if
even
it is
just a
temporary.
dropout. True.
It's temporary dropout. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, what's a Splatoon tournament without any issues? Doesn't
True.
exist. And
You
I mean, it probably has existed. It's just few and far in between.
yeah. Um, less amount of players, it obviously is a lot less likely to occur. But yeah, so now that we're moving on to our second game, it is Sturgeon Shipyard Tower Control. A very... People seem to like this. Like, excessively like this, from what I've heard.
I think if Alienated wants to continue using Booyah would definitely be nice on this map for them, because there's a lot of spaces with the tower that throwing Booyah is just a really smart move, especially on that first checkpoint, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm kind of curious if Alienated is going to continue doing the haha funny triple K-Gal, or if they're just going to do haha funny triple weapons in general.
Yeah. Like, the K-Gal is very much what people have declared as the meta. If you believe in that or not, because Splatoon, you can play any weapon, but we shall see. And they, no, they're going 3 different weapons. Here we go. So on the side of Splatoon WHO, we have got the infamous Clash Blaster, Splattershot Pro, Hydra, and a Tri-Slosher. On the side of Alienated, we've got a Rapid Blaster, a Grey and Zap, and the Flingza Roller.
We have a Kraken on the Clash. Not really a surprise here, as he plays very off-meta weapons, and it's very refreshing to see, actually. But so far, we have Popgun sitting on the tower with his Hydra. Unfortunately, he does end up going down here. And there's just a fight over on this first checkpoint. Kraken's able to secure the first checkpoint for his team. Pushing up, and Shinet's popping that armor for Splatoon WHO.
And does get the Splat onto Pika, trying to get the Splat onto the SRL, just seeking them out with there's no tomorrow, and looks like Splatoon WHO do clear that final checkpoint and heading on, and it's a wipe and the KO.
There was definitely a little bit more of a fight here, honestly. Not that it necessarily stops Splatoon WHO from just lightly touching the tower and getting and keeping it where it was at, but definitely a bit more room for them to fight than there was in the first game there. Yeah.
Although it did feel quicker, that's only because Splat zones, you have that time. You have to go through that. I don't think each count is exactly, I think it's a bit under a second. But you got to get through that 100 count, and they also they flipped the zone once, and that gave them that penalty and just a bit more time. So that's why it felt longer, but it was a lot less contested in the zone. We will be moving on to the third game. Again, a 3v4. That's what they've said, and that's what we'll go with. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it. It's just how it happens. Things can go late. You can't control that, unfortunately. And then that comes into this, which it is what it is. Like, let's be honest, we can't control the world. We can control what we can control, but we can't control external things. And I'm sure whatever happens, it is what it is. We're here now.
I mean, hopefully eventually we get to see Alienated again in a 4v4 setting, because I think that would be very nice to see, just generally speaking.
Yeah, it definitely will be. And yeah, this is a Swiss setting, so sure, while because they have unfortunately they have unfortunately lost the round. Don't mind my English. They can still get lots of points later on, and you can make it up. You can get that. You can get Splat. You can get this. You can get that. And at the end of the day, 4 of these 6 teams will be moving on to Top Cut. So as long as you're not in the bottom 2 teams, you will be making it to the finals. But here we go. We are now on to the final game of this set. Rainmaker on Snapper Canal on the side of Splatoon WHO. We've got that brush coming out from Kraken again. The Kenta Splatter Shot, Sploosh, and the Junior on the side of Alienated. We've got the Dabble Julies off the brush and the Kenta Splat Roller. A lot of close range weapons here.
Yeah, a lot of close range weapons, but that also means that they need to keep up their aggression, which I feel like, as they've gotten very accustomed to how this opposing team is, they can 100% do this and be as aggressive as they honestly want to be. And they're showing that now as they almost get a KO right off the bat.
Oh, but a great stop, but unfortunately that stop is not enough as they do take the KO. Rainmaker, one of the quickest ranked modes you can get.
Either the quickest or somehow the slowest.
It's either or. Like, you either go straight for the pedestal, or you don't touch the Rainmaker until the final minutes.
Yeah,
But yeah, we will be moving on to round 2 shortly. We'll be taking a quick break to hopefully sort out some of these issues. And then we'll catch you all very shortly. See you all soon. Dun, dun, dun.
Also,
Good to go. Okay.
all right.
Do you want me to start?
Uh, Preferably, yes.
Okay. Um, just send a message in VC text when we're live. Woof. Okay. Apparently we're live. Surprise, surprise. Um, Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Creator Clash, where 24 creators are playing in an IDTGA style tournament, which is, in case you don't know what IDTGA is, it's a free agent tournament where teams are created based on their skill, aka their ranks, their play style, and their previous tournament experience. Joining me in this lovely room that stretches across the entire earth is Sky.
Hello. We're we're in round two. And I think if I remember correctly, as you mentioned earlier, we're going to be looking at jokes, jams, and juice and WAAFU.
Indeed, we will be on the side of jokes, jams, and juice. We have now I'm trying to pronounce this right. Lee? I don't
Ollie.
Ollie, okay. We got Flemmy Z, Mr. Rookie, and Epi. On the side of Wafu, we got Wadsum, a Squidmin, Pufu, and Alice. Um, yeah, these are some they're creators. What else?
I mean, I suppose like something else to consider is, what kind of creators are they? Because
Yeah,
I see a large majority of different types of creators. Some of these being comp players, and I believe at least one of them being Alice specifically being ATO here.
yeah. Um, so yeah. Um, Ollie is actually the one of the people who runs Bamboozler memes on Twitter, if you've seen that.
Propaganda. Yeah.
Bamboozler propaganda, sorry, not memes. I am sorely mistaken there. And Mr. Rookie runs the Splatoon news account. And Pufu does concept art that you may have been highly likely deceived about Splatoon 3 about, or Splatoon 6, as I've seen him do at some stage.
Time to go cry in a corner because I've 100% fallen for something that Fufu has made before. Like, they just look so good and it
It
looks
does.
official. They do their job well, and I applaud them for it.
But yeah, let's take a look at what maps will be running in round 2.
Ooh.
We'll be starting on Ink Blot Art Academy Clan Blitz, followed by Splat Zones on Maker Mart, and then back returning to the Reef this time. Instead of we're going zones like we were in round 1, this is Tower Control.
I don't know. I could be heavily biased, but like,
Be
I
heavily
just
biased. It's fine.
I love Clamblitz. Just
Oh, I do too.
mwah. Clemblitz was my first X rank, and I don't know, like I've always just enjoyed it. Maybe not in team settings, but definitely in a solo setting, somehow, some way. I
I
guess
pers-
I've also
I think the other way around. I think Clan Blitz is much better in a team setting because unlike it's a lot more heavily reliant on getting your team's support to actually get um, players getting clans every which way. And we're just cutting straight into this. Jokes, jams, and juice in the
oh
blue,
wow.
and Wafu in green. On the side of the jokes, we have the bamboo, as you'd expect, the tri-slosher, the is that the H3, I should say, and the Panther Slasher Pro. On the side of Wafu, we have the Slasher Junior Tri-Slosher, Lunar Blaster, and the Dapple Julies. That's a very close-up weapon comp right there. Like,
I mean,
rather just being the junior or the tri-slosher.
yeah, I mean, a lot of comps so far from what I've seen, a lot of these creators seem to be playing like weapons that are very up close and personal. It seems like it seems like a lot of our content creators are just very aggressive. I suppose, with the exception of last round where we saw Pop Gun with like Hydra and everything, but
Well, aggression does lead to content. But here we go. Ollie does get those 10 missiles out, targeting 2 people. They do have 15 clans at the ready. They could make push down, especially with 2 members down on the side of WAAFU and some clans up there. Ollie sees that Lunar Bluff though.
Nice.
Does get the splash. 1 clan gets another clan. That is the power clan. They've broken the basket and clans are just flying in. Epi coming in, gets some more clans and setting that score all the way down to 47.
Ollie doing a good job of supporting their teammates. Unfortunately, they get taken out by Alice with the Dapples, and this push ends up getting shut down as they get locked out. Flemmy end up going down in a 3v1, and WAAFU here is currently just getting their map control back just so they can at least have the map control. It doesn't seem like they're gonna go for a push anytime soon yet, but
Although
it might.
Hey,
you know,
25 clans.
you know, commentators curse. You know.
Yeah, it happens. Here we go. Watson goes up. The bubble's coming up as well. But with 3 wipes on the side of WAAFU, that will be the end of that push. And Plenty Z ready there with that power clan.
Nice.
They do get it in, but doesn't seem like... Oh, Ollie coming around does get spotted by the tri-slosher. And with a WAAFU's tri-slosher, I should say. And now they're just getting up some turf. Both teams quite even on the clans right now. How the Jokes, Jams, and Juice do have that power clan at the ready. As well as WAAFU does have another pity clan just sitting by at their basket. Watson trying to push up to Joke Jams and Juice's plat right now. But without getting the picks, it isn't going to be much. And Tentamouse Ink Armor coming out from Jokes, securing that defense a bit. Flemmy getting this turf, getting a few assists there. And now it's looking like it's going to be time for another push from Jokes, Jams, and Juice as they're on 18. But, ooh, maybe not.
Jokes, Jam, and Juice has been doing a really good job this entire time period. Even if they're not able to get this push in right now, I think the fact that they're being patient and they're pushing back a little bit, just to make it so that they're just to be safe, keeping that power clam safe, being able to possibly have a future push is honestly, in my opinion, a lot more important than just going for rogue pushes, because I guess while you can get clams on the board and getting a higher score, it's nice to just, you know, wait for this, where you can get 2 power clams in at once. And it looks like
a full-on wipe as WAAFU got wiped, and now they only need another 3 more clams,
and that's
2
a
more clams,
KO.
1 more clam, and that is game 1. 2 Jokes, Jams, and Juice.
Jokes, Jam, and Juice definitely, you know, showed that they do have a lot of jokes, Jam, and Juice to show around.
Indeed they are. Oh, just getting a bit of stretch out of that, just being cooped up in this chair. And yeah, we are gonna move on to the next round. If we get up to see what the next map list, the next maps will be. It will be Splat Zones on Mako Mart. Splat Zones is, I don't know, probably, although personally, my least favorite mode.
Oh,
Least favorite mode.
interesting.
I absolutely despise it.
I'm curious
if I'm
about that.
streaming and I get Splat Zone and there's like Splat Zones in rotation, I might
At the end of the stream.
yeah, just, if I don't, I might do it just to get power. But then from there, like I'll do anything else. I'll do Salmon Run. I'll do Turf War. I'll do random weapons. I'll do an Octo expansion speed run. I just won't do solo if Splat Zones is in rotation and I've already got my power.
Your reaction to zones is majority of the community towards clamblets, and it's
Yeah.
sad. I
Um,
think
but
I think I think personally, with Mako Mart here, Mako Mart being a very neutral map, a very nice map to play on competitively, doesn't really
yeah,
have any specific advantage to either side. I think especially with zones, it's very nice. Because I feel like you either need a lot of painting weapons or you're gonna see a lot of booyahs and bomb rushes here.
yeah. Unlike Humpback Pump Track, where one Booyah Bomb can actually flip the zone if you're not careful. Mako Mart's zones with that plus shape in the middle, as well as that barrier in the middle, that is a very key barrier that affects this game so much. In the fact that a Booyah Bomb or any special, unless you get like a bomb rush on its own, can flip the zone, but a Booyah Bomb, right, for example, can't do it on its own. A Baller on its own can't do it on its own. A Splashdown can't do it on its own. You need that support from your team. You need that turf. But here we go. Let's dive into the second match of round 2. Jokes, Jams, and Juice in purple. And in green, we have WAAFU. On Jokes, Jams, and Juice, we have the Bamboo, as you'd expect, Tri-Slosher, H3, and the Kensa Splash Pro. On the side of WAAFU, we have a Dynamo, Tri-Slosher, Heavy, and the Dapple Julies.
And first off here, we end up having Jokes, Jams, and Juice hold the zone for a little bit, but WAAFU ends up taking it fairly quickly. And Ollie here, using their bubbles and their fizzies to their advantage here, and just using those to paint the zone, while also being careful of torpedoes being thrown at them.
Indeed, and they do manage to take lead and continue on that push, securing the zone. 2 players are down on the side of WAAFU, but with those bubbles coming out, that might be able to send the zone into neutral, but it does not seem able to. That Heavy over in the top left corner, trying to just get a bit of that zone covered, send it into neutral. However, Jokes, Jams, and Juice are past the halfway waypoint. Bloodsome does get that splat onto Epi, gets the flank, gets 1, gets 2, can they get another one? They get 3, are they able to get the wipe? No, they
Unfortunately not.
That is the chance they needed to flip the zone and give Jokes, Jams, and Juice a 48-point penalty.
Blossom doing a lot of work here with the try, getting a double, completely ignoring people on the stack, just to get this person that was coming up on them. And hopefully to get another, and unfortunately, and not getting a triple, but they do get a double, going down to Flemmy on their try. Flemmy going and taking out the Heavy, and making sure to get rid of the torpedo and taking back the zone for their team, going on and taking on that Dynamo.
And that was a crucial pick. Even though they did get the assist, they did manage to get a lot of damage, which allowed that splat to happen onto that team. However, WAAFU has taken back the zone, trying to get that penalty. How that zone is going back. Like it's not committing to either side. Both teams are fighting for it. It's 50-50. Booyah Bomb might change that around as the Dynamo sends that out. Flemmy does get the splat onto his goodman, and now there's 3 players down on the side of WAAFU, and the zone flip back to Jokes, Jams, and Juice, giving WAAFU that penalty right back to them.
Yeah, you know, these these tries on both sides doing just a lot of work here in, you know, showing that they know how to play their weapon, doing a lot of cool things that I don't think I've ever seen done with try before.
Indeed. Bloodsome just staying on that, I believe it's called breakfast in some comments. Just trying to get some sets. Those bubbles flip the zone almost immediately. Booyah Bomb securing that. Squid get the splat, but Flemmy Z says, no, you got my teammate, I will avenge them, and keep the splat back onto Squidman.
Fluffy doing a really good job in somehow surviving that splashdown and taking out 2 people, looking like they're gonna get a triple here. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they're going to, but they did a really good job here in adding more aggression into WAAFU's spawn there. Just pushing back for their team, making sure not to overextend, and you know, overextending is just a bad thing to do in general. And good thing that they're not. Oh no!
Oh no, but there we go. They do go down. They want to flip the zone now. That penalty is cleared. And there we go. WAAFU do flip the zone, giving Jokes, Jams, and Juice another penalty of 32 points. We are in less than a minute remaining of this match. WAAFU have cleared their penalty. They're going to want to secure this zone. But no! They get caught on the booty ball, and that is a wipe from WAAFU. Jokes, Jams, and Juice take the zone, and their penalty is flicking down. Further 40 seconds remaining on the clock. Alice getting that splashdown at the ready. Hopefully going to be able to take the zone. Coming around from the corner. Are they able to get it? They double roll. Get the splash. Gets the splat. And that is the zone flip to WAAFU. Bio Bomb coming out as well. Turf every which way right now. Alice pushing up. Are they able to get the splat onto this LH3? They do. And that penalty is now cleared with only 14 seconds left on the clock and 2 players down on the side of Jokes, Jams, and Juice.
You know, Alice honestly doing a really good job painting the zone as a dapple duo and trying to help their team, getting another splashdown, popping it alongside the bubbles, and taking the lead for WAAFU at the end of the match.
They were even 3 players down in those last few seconds, but they still, because they had that turf security, they were managed to able to hold that zone and do take it, leading the score to 1 point to Jokes, Jams, and Juice and 1 to WAAFU.
And we're gonna have to see how Refund Tower Control ends up, you know, deciding the fate of who ends up taking this round.
Yeah, it's been a great match. Compared to the last one, that's not hard to do. But even still, it's been... I've enjoyed every second of this round.
I mean, I think something about this round has just kind of showed, like, you know, there's definitely they got tricks up their sleeves. They're content creators. You never know what's gonna happen next, and
No.
because like I think that something that's like very interesting is just seeing how well their work, like both of these teams honestly are working really well together.
They are. Like, typical to your standard IDTGA, they did get a little bit more time to practice, but only by like a day or so. So even still, they've only had like 2-3 days to practice together as a team. Like, they might have practiced, might have played together previously. Like, obviously, I don't have information to that. I don't know every interaction that all these 24 creators have made, because honestly, who has the brain storage capacity for that? I've got enough capacity for my own lifetime, never mind another 24 people. But yeah, it's been incredible to see.
I'm curious to see if we'll see any major change-ups with anybody's weapons.
Well, we'll find out as we're diving straight into this match. Tower control on the reef. On the yellows, we have Jokes, Jams, and Juice, and in the blues, we have WAAFU on this. And Jokes, Jams, and Juice coming out with the Bamboo, Splash-O-Matic, H3, and the Splattershot Pro on the side of WAAFU. We've got that Dynamo, a Tri-Slosher, a Splattershot Junior, and the Dapple Julies.
Honestly, so far, we have WAAFU getting some points on the board. I'm pretty sure Jokes, Jams, and Juice has definitely touched the tower already as well. No, okay. It's just a bloodbath. 2 down on either side here.
And an Ink Storm as well. But yeah, both teams contesting over middle, the top and the bottom. Jokes, Gems, and Juice pushing that tower a little bit. Watson trying to use that tri-flusher fall off onto Jokes, Gems, Juice, however, is not able to, as they do clear that first checkpoint. And with 2 players down, that might be a halt to their push, but they do seem to push in the tower. Ollie getting that splat onto Fufu with the bamboo there.
Nice.
That tower's gonna reset back to the middle.
Ollie also being able to take out Alice with their dapples, and seemingly looks like they're trying to contest one other person while also keeping Pain up, and unfortunately going down to Squidman's Dynamo Roar here.
But there we go. This will now be the first proper push coming out from WAAFU. Booyah Bomb coming up from Squidman. Inkstomp also coming out. That's going to secure some turf. Fufu narrowly avoiding that Booyah Bomb as they're able to clear the checkpoint. 2 players down on Jokes, Jan, and Juice, but then 2 players down go on the side of WAAFU. They do take the lead as Watson goes around that corner. However, I don't believe you can climb up there. No, as that just trying to get flats.
As Tri-Slasher does best, using, similarly to Carbon, using the ledges to their advantage and just throwing their sloshes over the ledge and trying to get whoever is possibly unfortunate enough to be on close to the ledge is a really good strat, honestly.
Indeed. Fufu does go down to that splat bomb as Alice is there with the double dualies. WAAFU have made an incredible push so far, all the way up to 32, and they're looking to extend it further as 2 players are down on the side of Jokes, Gen, Juice. They're heading up to the final checkpoint, but they get splattered by that throw as Squidman takes their place. They're now in the final checkpoint cleared. 2 players down on the side, Jokes, Gen, Juice. Missiles coming out. Missiles take down Squidman. WAAFU able to take the tower. Watson climbs onto it on that tri-slosher, trying to get some players. No one's on the tower. We're in the final 10 little points right there. Out of Jokes, Gen, do seem to have secured that zone. And with 2 players down on the side of WAAFU, that does look like it'll be the end of that push.
It was a really good push though, because they have all their checkpoints down. It's just a matter of if Jokes, Jam, and Juice can do better than that.
Clash between Ollie and Watson right there. And it seems the tower has gone back, and then it's just flipped direction. The flipped directions again! Squidman does have that Booyah Bomb at the ready as Jokes, Gems, and Juice getting into another push. And with 3 players down, they're going to continue that push. Get it beyond to where they last were. Suction Bomb Rush coming out, as well as 10 missiles. Rookie gets the splat onto Alice, and they're now clearing that second checkpoint. Second checkpoint now cleared. And heading into the final checkpoint.
Looks like they're getting a hard push from behind, and unfortunately, that's not going to do them all too well. Unfortunately, as 2 of them go down, the 2 big people who are still pushing that tower and getting stuck into a 3v1. But Jokes, Jam, and Juice prevails, touching tower, and Squidman here not having enough ink to possibly hit anybody at the current moment in time.
That is unfortunate. But regardless, they're a dynamo, and you do not want to be in front of a dynamo if they've got a tank full of ink. Watson does get that slide onto Rookie. I think they do see another play here, but now we're in the final 10 seconds. Jokes, Jams, and Juice are going to want to head to the tower almost immediately if they want to get it. But Watson stopping Epi, stopping Ollie, and that is going to be game 3. Going towards... Actually, there we go, WAAFU!
And that also means that round 2 between Jokes, Jams, and Juice and WAAFU is gonna go to WAAFU as well.
Indeed. What? That was a great set. That was... Yeah.
I mean, compared to the first set that we ended up watching and commentating for, it isn't really hard for that to be any better than what we originally had. But also, considering that we started with Jokes, Jam, and Juice, being very, very aggressive and taking, a really good stance when it came to Clan Blitz, which I honestly feel like was really good on them because, Clams being such a team oriented mode and everything, it was just
Yeah.
unfortunate to see that they couldn't continue or like I guess that they couldn't keep up with that same energy throughout the rest of the matches. They definitely kept up. It's just got very unfortunate and ended up getting taken out at unfortunate timings.
Indeed. But that will wrap up round three. Sorry, round two. Don't let me get ahead of myself. We'll be back very shortly for round three once we find out what teams will be playing. Don't
And
leave and don't forget to stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Creator Clash, where 24 creators from around the world are battling it out in a IDTGA style free agent tournament. Joining me in this little cozy room in a voice chat called Live on a private little server is Sky.
Hello, and welcome back. Speaking of welcome back, we're gonna be watching Winners POV versus Splatoon 2, more like Splatoon who?
Honestly, one of the longest names, so we had to shorten it down for our graphics here. Because or also just take up that whole top bar and that's not really great.
I mean, not like us commentators weren't gonna shorten it anyways.
Yeah, it's true.
Realistically.
Splatoon 2 more like Splatoon who takes the lead. Splatoon 2 more like Splatoon who get the. You know. But here we go. We're diving into round 3 right now. On the side of sorry, what am I talking about? The rounds we'll be seeing our Rainmaker Sturgeon Shipyard, Sclamblitz on Snapper Canal, and Splat Zones Inc. Blot Art Academy. Remember, this is a play all 3 set. Sky, what do you think of these?
Um, I mean, we've seen these maps before already. Different ones, of course. I think Greenmaker Sturgeon might pan out to be quite interesting. Um, Snapper clams, prefer a lot more over what we saw with it earlier being Rainmaker, and that's mainly just because with Rainmaker Snapper, I see it as a going for pop isn't necessarily the best or like necessarily the most necessary option. And
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
it doesn't get a lot of turf because it's so high up. Like it is ridiculously high up.
Yeah, no, it's so high up that like it's just not worth going for opening pop. So you're better off just painting up your left hill or painting up their hill, to push in on them later.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very indifferent towards maps. Again, I said earlier in the stream that if you were to throw Moray Towers into a map list that I had to play, I'd probably kiss the person who did that. Realistically, I'm genuinely not joking. And honestly, maybe that's just because of how much I enjoy that. But from the rosters here, we have some favorites here. I'm not biased. Nope, not at all. From the side of
Nope, not an IPL rep coming out in the commentator
well, no,
box.
well, no. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm repping for the folks that are from IPL per se. I'm repping for them a little bit, a little, but
A
like,
little.
we do a little simping for Vic. It's okay. But on the side of Winners POV, we have Barry, Vic Villain, Pixel Squid, and Jacko Gian?
Jacko Jean, I believe.
Jacko Jean. Okay.
That's how it looks like to me. Obviously, if someone in chat knows we're pronouncing them wrong, please let us know.
Please.
Because that would be bad.
I will go cry if I just butchered that. I probably did because I was very uncertain. And then on the side of Splatoon who we've seen these guys before, and they did really I don't know, they did nicely. We had Popgun, Shinex, Milana, and Kraken, and you know we do a little shenanigans. It looks like on the side of Splatoon who being on the purple, we have a K-Shot, Jet, Brush, and a Junior. And on the side of Winners POV, we have a Zap, Jet, Splash, and a Roller, not a Brush. And instantly we have a Photon Cancel and Kraken. Very wide brush indeed.
There we go. It does seem Splatoon who do grab the initial pop Winners POV grab the initial pop, but Splatoon who do manage to get a wipe onto Winners POV. That's going to give them an incredible first push, already clearing that first section right there, heading down to 70. But I think that was the first one. No, the Jet Squelcher and a white return white back at Splatoon WHO as Winners POV then takes out a Stingray and makes their own very nice counter push.
You know, it's very interesting to see how these comps have kind of evolved. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're entirely meta picks, but
I would agree with that.
But like, you know, we're definitely seeing some meta picks, at least from some weapons.
Indeed. There we go. Popping up that splashdown. Boom! That player behind them. And the winner. Sorry, Splatoon POV. Their push stopping right there. But with 3 players down on the side of Winners POV. This is going to give Splatoon WHO a chance to continue their push. They pick up the Rainmaker. Getting some splat. Pop gun. What's in the corner over there? That's not a great position for the Rainmaker to be in. But Kraken picks it up anyway. Pushes a few more points. But that will be the end of that push.
Kraken doing what he does best, being the fish that he is, picking up the fish and just pushing it as much as he possibly can. And looks like we have a sneaky little junior here. And unfortunately, sneaky little junior isn't sneaky enough and does end up going down alongside the K-shot. But it looks like Kraken and Popgun here doing a little good of just keeping them pushed back. Looks like Vic here is going around behind them, just getting that armor for their team. And unfortunately, it looks like they're 2 down on the side of Winners POV, so it might not be a good idea to pop here. And unfortunately, somehow, some way, Vic gets lucky. Oh my gosh.
You would be absolutely crying in your pants right there if I was Vic there. A win.
Oh my gosh.
I see.
Vic villain? Nah, we only know win villain.
And there we go, Kraken with that brush right there, trying to brush some people aside. Splashdown coming out, doesn't get any splash. A splashdown return!
Oh.
Windjack does get the splat onto Kraken, and that Rainmaker looking like they're going to reset there. Jack does get the trade with Popgun, and that Rainmaker is going to go all the way back to the center. Barry with that Stingray trying to get some splats, isn't able to. Milana dancing around the tower, does get the missile, but not picking. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now they pick up the ring. Like, to take it to the left, but no! Wait. What happened? Did they. That must have been maybe some internet issues. I could have sworn they fell there. But that has made it for an incredible push from Milana, getting that tower all the way down to 23.
There's a plus side and a downside to going up here. Unfortunately, the downside is once you get up here, you you know, if they hadn't pushed it, it would have. I mean, I get why they were pushing it, get it out of their base. But once you push up there, it's generally harder to continue that push. Unfortunately, it looks like Kraken's just, trying to buy time here, trying to make it so that they aren't able to make a push here anytime soon, and it's working out in their team's advantage.
Indeed, this is the kind of thing that Splatoon WHO would like to be doing now, just buying time with that Rainmaker, because if the Rainmaker is closer to the enemies, to where they want to go, it makes it for a longer run for the Winners POV when overtime comes around and gives them more time to bunch up, get those specials. But here we're heading to the final 10 seconds. Trade between Jack and Shinix there. Is anyone going to grab that Rainmaker? Yes, Pixel is holding that Rainmaker. Barry with the Stingray, trying to get some splats. Watch out for that Stingray coming out from Splatoon WHO. Pixel avoiding that. Is that the GG Ray? But no seems to survive. But I think I don't even know what got them there. But that is that game.
First game going to Splatoon WHO. 77. No. This match is cursed. Thank you, Kraken. Oh no.
But there you go, that is the first match Next up, we'll be moving to Snapper Canal on Clam Blitz.
Clam Blitz being a very team-oriented mode will be definitely interesting to see if we'll see the same teamwork that we saw back on Sturgeon Rainmaker. Definitely seeing a lot of synergy for Splatoon WHO. Honestly, it's definitely interesting. Um, do you expect any specific weapons to see here?
I expect Kraken to be wielding the ink brush. Um,
I
in fact,
mean,
I will bet money that will happen. Um,
I could bet money that we might get an Aerospray instead, or even a Clash Blaster.
um, but yeah, other weapons might see that Cancer Spider Shot come again. Great all rounder weapon. You can use it to be aggressive. You can use it for a bit more support, especially with those Tenta missiles. A nice, quick, easy special. Um, Easy to farm, especially with the Spider Shot. Um, Other weapons might see another Gelt Squelcher. Has that range. Although Stingray maybe not as useful as it was on Rainmaker, just because this is a lot wider stage, and therefore
Mm-hmm.
particularly for Clam Blitz, where you don't necessarily you don't get slowed down by the clam, unlike you do with the Rainmaker or the Tower. So you might not see Stingray as much. You might see something more like along the lines of Ink Armor, Booyah Bomb, or possibly even an Ink Storm. Something more along those lines, just to secure a bit more safety, um, and just cover. Bubbles. How did I forget about Bubbles? Bubbles and Baller.
I think if I had to
POV.
take a guess, I think something along the lines of like having missiles and armor is two of the things I would expect, especially maybe a booyah.
Oh,
You
what is
know,
that from Winners POV? A triple NZAP 85 comp right there, as well as the Bamboozler. And then from Splatoon 2, a Ink Brush, as I said would happen.
you
As well
know,
as Hydra, and again the Ken Splatter Shot and the Tri-Slosher.
you know, Winners POV taking the whole NZAP and armor spam being meta a little too literally.
This is a little. Oh, but
Oh
Milena narrowly missing that power clamp.
no! Milana missing the power clamp and then being taken out by Winners POV. Very, maneuvering with that bamboo. It's nice to see that there's some other bamboo representation that's not just Ollie, actually.
Yeah, it is. But there we go. Kraken does have that power clamp, and then just hears me and decides to disobey me. Splasher at the ready does pick up the power clamp before it despawns. Player goes down on the side of Winners POV, and with that bubble behind them, Kraken goes up to the basket, pops it in, and there we go, some clams coming in from Splatoon WHO, getting that push all the way down to 68. Some nice, lucky clams spawning in front of the basket right there. They do have that turf, which gives them the opportunity to push a bit more, and two players down on the side of Winners POV. Missiles coming up, hopefully getting Splatoon WHO a bit more disarrayed. More clams coming in from Splatoon WHO. Kraken goes down. Milena coming up with 6 clams, trying to find it. They get some in, and takes down Jack Barry over there, trying to secure the spot against Popcorn. That basket is just going tick, tick, tock. And that might be the end of that push, but what an incredible first push, sending that all the way down to 14.
The penalty of 43, which I believe would be easily taken out by 2 power clams. Honestly, just seeing everybody from the side of Splatoon WHO just kind of pile in with all of the clams that they got, alongside just being able to take people out. And just, honestly, Vic coming in and getting that sneaky little clam in, sneaky little Vic.
Oh, that a jump,
Oh,
but no! Jack
oh no!
missing, and unfortunately a wipe. That will send their pity clan down into the abyss as Shinix gets some more clans here, has some armor up already. Barry over there with that bamboo, just putting some pressure onto Splatoon WHO. And the Splatoon WHO also has 22 clans out, Tender missiles, Inkard coming out. They might be trying to look here for another push. Melina throws that power clan just to make sure they're not marked. However, Barry doesn't matter. They know they're there. It gets splattered. Shinix sees the basket is broken. Clams coming up from the right side. Shinix going there. Tricel's coming. Kraken with the splashdown. They're now only got 16 points remaining to
Unfortunate.
game. Ah!
They nearly break through the. Oh my god, Milano here sneaking in. Oh no! In a splashdown.
Oh god, gets
No.
spotted.
Oh
Is
no!
that the end of the push with only Kraken left alive? That will be, but with only 7 points remaining and only a 25-point penalty, that is only 32 points to clear, which is easily done with a power clan and 4 clans.
You know, I'm kind of curious what the thought process was to jump there. Just
They had like 3 or 4 clans, so if they didn't get them, like, because they're safe now, and they had the people respawning. But if they managed to get that jump in safely, that would have been the game. So I think it was just like a desperation attempt for like, if I can get it, I can get it. But there we go. Oh, that's okay. That's their basket. I thought it was. I thought that was.
I think at this point in time in the game is when they're doing the thing that is pretty smart, not getting too cocky, not really trying to push too hard, but they're doing a good job of making sure of, hey, you know, these guys are gonna be like wanting to look for a push here. And having Barry and one of their zaps down on the side of Winners POV is gonna be really unfortunate, especially as they don't have enough paint here to push up. And oh, Vic and Shinix here trade.
Coming up, Excel, juggling these clans. But no, takes the ink rail. Unfortunate decision at that power clan immediately despawns. Popgun is going to guard that power clan with the Hydra, because as soon as that despawns, that will be the game. And there we go.
In game 2 here and round 3 set here, going to Splatoon WHO. Winners POV can still get a point here to help them through Swiss, but the round is ultimately going to Splatoon WHO.
Indeed. But to wrap it all up on this round, we do have Inkblot Art Academy Splat Zones. Now, I actually think we'll see a turn of the tables here, because Rainmaker and Clan Blitz, let's call them brothers, and Splat Zones and Tower Control are like sisters. They're pretty much, both of them, they're kind of similar in a sense. Splat Zones and Tower Control, it's a lot more about possession and slowly making a push, while Rainmaker and Clan Blitz is hurry up, get the dunk, get the clam, slam it in, give me that win. They're a lot more fast paced, and while yes, Splat Zones and Tower Control can be quick matches, it's a lot more steady, it's a lot more paced. If checkpoints, especially on Tower Control, but we're on Splat Zones in this one, where you have that penalty. You always got to keep these things in mind, which can make for a lot more paced and a lot more sometimes balanced gameplay, and just turns the tables around, and is a lot different to Rainmaker and Clan Blitz.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a good way of explaining it. Honestly, I think Inkblot Art Academy Zones is definitely interesting because you have to deal with the tower and everything that's in the middle of the zone.
I actually mentioned this last season on IDTGA, but for those who missed that, Inkblot Art Academy Zones is the only ranked mode that has the central pillar that is kind of like the whole point of this map. Like it's the most definitive feature. But Splat Zones is the only ranked mode that has it. Like Clan Blitz doesn't have it, Rainmaker doesn't have it, and Town Control doesn't have it.
And we have Barry with an E leader here, and Popgun with a knot. Ew?
Some definitely different comps coming out, probably trying to get that more passive gameplay going. Winners POV, as we said, we have the E-Leader, the NZAT, the Aerospray, and the Sploosh, a lot of turf heavy, trying to splat that zone. And on Winners WHO, the Ink Brush, the Nautilus, the Kensa Splattershot, and the Splattershot Junior.
Seeming like Splatoon WHO here is going for a little bit of more aggressive comp, taking away the Hydra and taking a more aggressive Splatling alongside giving a Jet here. Just for the little addition of more aggression here, and just using that aggression to their advantage here, and just keeping up with the pushes. It looks like here that Winners POV is able to get paint on the map. Barry here using that E-Leader to do a really amazing job of painting, which, well, not only is it an E-Leader, but it's an E-Leader scoped. I'm crying, you know.
Although I believe Barry is extremely good with these scoped weapons, from what I've seen in some clips I've seen online. But there we go. Splatoon WHO does currently have the lead. They've cleared rid of their penalty. Winners POV are looking to get some splats in. Inkstorm and a Booyah Bomb coming out. Not able to get any splats with those specials, unfortunately. Pixel trying to spot someone here, using the first one to get some extra maneuverability, but Kraken sees them before they can get through any damage and stopping them, as they are already now down to the final 25 points of this match.
Winners POV is having a really hard time, especially the E-Leader, who at any point in time when they notice where the E-Leader is, they hard target them, which is really unfortunate for them. And Winners POV here trying the hardest, getting the zone, but not before Kraken takes out two of them in going down himself.
But giving Splatoon WHO that massive penalty of 68 points will be absolutely fundamental to giving Winners POV a bit more security in trying to get this game. Pixel with that Aerospray able to get a lot of turf, because that's what Aerosprays do. But Kraken with that splashdown, 10 missiles as well. Jack coming with the splashdown. I like to call them super splashdown, but not able to get any picks with that. Splatoon WHO do have possession of the zone right now. So if you're in Winners POV, you're going to want to be trying to find when can I break out, and when can I try and get this zone back into my favor. Booyah Bomb and Ink Armor coming out from the side of Winners POV. Zone is sent into neutral. Pixel trying to get some splats, does get onto Popcorn's Nautilus. 10 missiles coming out from the side of Splatoon WHO does reclaim that zone, as the laner does get that splat onto the Aerospray.
Splatoon WHO doing a really good job cleaning up the mess that they had to take care of here. And Milana especially getting picks here, helping their team. Kraken helping out, and they get a KO here, taking game 3 and ultimately taking the entirety of round 3 into their favor.
Yep, that was a full-on sweep, no dustpan and brush left behind. That was a very yeah. Splatoon WHO just absolutely asserting their dominance in that round, showing that you called yourself Winners POV? Yeah, you're gonna be looking at us be the winners. And yeah, so that will wrap up that game. And we will be heading into round 4 soon, which will be the final game of the final round, I should say, not the final game. It's not a best of 1. the final round of the preliminaries. We'll catch you all very shortly. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Creator Clash, where 24 creators have come together in 6 separate teams to battle out to see which team will come on top in the ultimate form of supremacy. Joining me is Sky. You were
Hello, hello,
expecting someone, weren't
hello.
you?
I was expecting the classic DJM intro, but
It's still classic.
true. We're gonna be going
Subverting
into
expectations.
we're gonna be going into round 4 with 4 moons against Winners POV. And I would just like to say a lot of the folks from Winners POV, they came like right into the Twitch chat right after that last round, and just gave GGs with a beautiful yellow heart. Love them, very wholesome.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and as Vic said, if we do not win the match, we get to see someone else win. Still a Winners POV, and I think that in itself is a winner's mindset. So.
Yeah. But yeah, so the maps we'll be seeing in this set, the final round of the preliminaries, will be Mako Mart Town Control, then we'll have Rainmaker on Starfish Mage Stage, and then we'll be concluding with Clan Blitz on Piranha Pit, remembering that this is a play all 3 set, so we'll be playing all 3 of these games.
Um, I'm not really too sure what to expect. We're going to be going back to Mechamart, a pretty neutral map overall. Um, a little bit annoying to deal with on tower control, I will say, because it's very easy to shut down pushes. And it's also pretty easy to get pushes in if you can start camping their spawn and everything. Starfish main stage with Rainmaker is also tedious. I don't know. I don't hate these maps. I just find that the modes that they're paired with here are just a little tedious.
Yeah, that's understandable. Particularly for Maker Mart, it is a for such a because Maker Mart's one of the smallest stages, and but it still has 3 checkpoints, so it does a bit of weaving and bobbing, to make it all work, and it does make it feel, and possibly the tower moves a little slower, maybe. Um, but then we'll be heading into this match as soon as everyone will ready up. Um, And there we go. Let's head into this next match. We do have Winners POV versus 4 Moons. Winners POV in orange and 4 Moons will be in purple. On the
It
side
looks
of
like
Winners. Yes?
it also looks like that this match is going to decide who ends up having second or third, which doesn't seem like it'll change the standings all too much, but I feel like it's definitely important to note.
It is. And on the side of Winners POV, we do have the Jet Scorcher, NZAP, Aerosprite, and the Splat Roller. On the side of the 4 Moons, we have the Kensa Splatter Shot, the Jet Scorcher, the Rapid Blaster, as well as an NZAP 85.
And it looks like we have 2 down on the side of 4 Moons, with Chara here starking on the stack here, trying their best, using ball to their advantage to either get away or just keep themselves from dying here. And they end up taking out the roller with some help from one of their teammates. There's Zap on the side of 4 Moon popping armor, and Chara getting into another engagement, unfortunately having to back off because of the Booyah. And honestly, it's definitely been a little bit of a stalemate here. Taking out the arrow spray and getting some picks, or getting some shots, but not necessarily killing.
And dude, Jack just dancing around on that roller of the tower. A Stingray coming out from the barrier over there. Splashdown at the ready from Jack as well, as they are heading into the final checkpoint. However, they do get splattered down by Chara, as well as Chara taking down Dylan as well. Pixel with that Booyah Bomb securely pushing back the 4 Moons a little bit more into their spawn. Chara trying to get some plats over there. However, not able to find any. Oh, there we go. There's one baller coming up, as well as a stingray from the opposing side. Chara, no splats, it seems, from that rapid blaster, as that tower is now sitting back into a neutral zone, and with two players down on the side of both sides.
Chara takes out poor Vic here, unfortunately getting too close to that blaster, and also taking out Pixel here. Looks like Chara's gonna try and sit on tower a little bit, but making sure to not do that, seemingly wanting to get some use out of that baller. Which looks like they're gonna do so here, with Pixel taking the tower.
9 out here. They do have that ink armor. They do have the 10 missiles. They're gonna try and make a push right now. They are on the tower. However, with the Booyah Bomb thrown at the tower, it will make that push a little tricky as they head into the first checkpoint with some 10 missiles securing some safety. A player down on the side of on the side of Winners POV. 2 players down on the side of Winners POV, which is gonna give 4 Moons the chance they need to make a push as they head to the second checkpoint and possibly able to take the lead. That is a quick checkpoint, and with 3 players down on side of Winners POV, 4 Moons is going to continue on this push. Chara and Rachel both on that tower. Chara pushing up further, Rachel just making sure they're on the tower, clearing the checkpoint, heading to the final 10 seconds. Vic coming over, gets the suction bomb, but no splats as 4 Moons take the first game of round 4 of the preliminaries.
You know, it definitely started off looking like Winners POV was gonna take this match here, but then, you know, a lot can happen over the course of a match. You know, you get 5 minutes per match, regardless of the mode. And, you know, seeing 4 Moons just take that back in such a strong way was just beautiful to see.
It was definitely a turn of the tables, particularly when they managed to get those 3 players down. That was the chance they needed to continue on with that push, and really give them that security to get to the third checkpoint, and then they managed to have that turf, continue the push, continue the turf, and then there we go. They got the 4 Moons, took that first game. But now, tower control's done. We're moving on to Rainmaker.
Rainmaker on Starfish main stage. What are your thoughts on this? Because I mean, I've already shared my thoughts that I just find all of these map mode combos to be not too horrible, but particularly tedious to deal with.
I find Rainmaker on Starfish quite an interesting one because there's a lot of routes you can take. You've got your you got your right route around the center box. You got your left route around the center box, and then on the lower, you've got your climb up that box and then jump over. I believe at one stage there was a mini tower type of thing you can climb onto the left. I don't know. I can't remember if that's still there.
I'm not sure either.
I haven't played Rainmaker on Starfish main stage for a long time, but I do remember there being something there. At some point. But I haven't played this map mode combination in a long time. But here we go. We're about to get this match on the map started. Winners POV versus 4 Moons. Winners POV coming in blue, and the 4 Moons coming in green. On the side of Winners POV, we got 2 blobblers.
Oh boy.
As well as an Enzap and a Splat Roller. On the side of 4 Moons, we got a Kensa Splattershot, a Jet Squelcher, Chara on the Rapid Pro, sorry, just the Rapid, as well as a Enzap.
And unfortunately, it seems like Chara goes down first thing. You know, dealing with 2 blobs, not really a fun thing. Blob does tend to work fairly well, giving a lot of pain. but especially more so that it has a really fun time of breaking the shield of the Rainmaker. And on the side of Winners POV, they go 3 down, but not before they end up getting the Rainmaker to a remaining of 47. That roller hanging on to their life. Unfortunately, Jack does end up going down to 9, and 4 Moons gets their opportunity here to make a push.
Indeed they have. They have made it back, and there we go. Pixel does spot them with the blah blah, but with 2 plays down on the side of the Winners POV, this might give the opportunity for 4 Moons to make another push here. Jack going around, climbing up that tower, trying to find some of the splat, does have a splashdown already, which can very easily pop that Rainmaker shield. Jack just going, which way should I go? Left, right? Where are players? Where are people that I can splat? I want to fill up my splat quota right now. And then we go, Hoenn over here does have the missiles at the ready, trying to avoid the junior player, does get the splat onto Villain. Missiles at the ready, trying to save them for a bit more of a scenario when they need them. As there we go, that Rainmaker does go down. 2 players down on the side of Winners POV, as that Rainmaker is just going to sit there. They're possible. What Winners POV is doing, say 4 Moons are likely when they're looking to reset that Rainmaker back to the center as they reclaim some lost turf.
4 Moons here doing a really good job of keeping up with that turf. Unfortunately, Blob is just going to heavily outpaint them, and keeping both Blobs down might be in their best interest here. And we get the Rapid here taking out the roller, and 4 Moons having their K shot down. Tara here also taking out one of the Blobbers and getting an armor in the process. And somebody seems to be trying to attempt a flank. But this opens an opportunity for 4 Moons.
Run it. Oh, and there we go.
My favorite.
With a Vic.
My favorite part of Rainmaker is definitely the ability of being able to completely and utterly mess over the other persons on the other team if they decide to rush you, because you have such a big shot radius that, you know, you can take them out with just a single shot while you're dying.
Yeah, like you just the after splat, like it's a trade, but it's nice and fun because it's delayed. That's what makes it interesting. But as 4 Moons have managed to push the Rainmaker all the way up to 8, that does mean it's going to be an incredibly difficult push for the Winners POV to get this game. There is a minute 14 seconds left on the clock. Inca Armor and a Suction Bomb Rush coming out from the side of Winners POV. The Pixel is holding the Rainmaker there, getting a nice view there of absolutely nothing. And an armor does come out from 9.
We have 9 here being pretty aggressive, but also careful and cautious of the fact that there's Blob and somebody who is going to come up behind him, and he's going to do a really good job of taking care of that, and sees the Rainmaker and a jump, and there ends up being a delayed wipe on the side of Winners POV here, as 4 Moons does their best to paint up and get more map control back. And the common theme of this match just being that 4 Moons is constantly having to get their turf back. But it seems like since we're in the last 20 seconds, Chara is picking up the Rainmaker and is using it as their main weapon here, and doing a good job keeping it up in that bunker area and just holding it, taking it up on here, and just maneuvering around.
No. Oh, does get the slide into Villain. And wow,
Oh.
dodging every player that came after them, like climbing up the wall, going around the left, dropping down, dancing on the grates. They're going like left, right, center, front, back, forward, left,
Doing all that you can to keep hold of that Rainmaker to avoid any sort of overtime push. I wouldn't blame you though. Rainmaker Overtime is either extremely, extremely amazing or very, very sad.
Indeed. But now it's time to return to both of our favorites, Clam Blitz, Piranha Pit.
Ah, Piranha Pit.
Wait, actually, Clam Blitz. Maybe not Piranha Pit, but Clam Blitz.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily hate it because I'm very, very neutral towards maps. Again, more a fanatic, but I don't know. I wouldn't inherently say that it's a horrible map mode combo. It's definitely playable, but it's also not horrible. Um,
Well, every map is technically playable.
Technically, it's more of a do the players enjoy these maps? I
If
will
not,
say,
people will shout at me in the comments.
um, hmm. I don't know. Piranha Pit always seems to be the map that I hear a lot of complaints about, whether it just be the fact that in zones it has two separate zones that aren't connected, and then it's a pain in the butt to try and have both zones paint at the same time. Tower control, just in general, the way that the checkpoints are set up are very hard, and every single checkpoint has a choke point. It is very easily locked out. Um, and clams is just hard because, but like clams is just hard in general. So I don't know.
It's what's interesting with Clam's Piranha Pit though is that this is probably the stage where the basket, your defending basket, is the furthest away from spawn. So if you get splattered while the enemy's pushing, an enemy team can get like 20, 30, 40 clans in before you're even respawned. And at the
Yeah, I mean not
and
only
at
that,
the-
but if you're not smart about how you're coming out of spawn while you're being attacked from your basket, you could end up giving the opposing team more picks than they might need or deserve, which can.
Let's get to the final round of the preliminaries. On the side of the Four Moons, we've got a Splatter Shot, a Jet Scorcher, Dynamo, and an N-Zap. On the side of Winners POV, we've got a Bamboo, N-Zap, Aerospray, and a Splat Roller.
You know, being very loose and nice with their comps here. And 9 here doing a really good job of trying to maneuver. Unfortunately, it's not enough as Barry ends up taking him out with the bamboo and also taking Hoenn out with the bamboo and having a power clam. Gonna throw it back up for whoever is respawning to pick up so that Barry can just get more paint down and maneuver around this. And doing just a good job here. Unfortunately, not getting that pick on one of the teammates on the side of Four Moons as they jump out, but having all of the missiles on you. All of this attention. A lot of the Four Moons knows who they need to take out, and Barry's just not letting them have it.
Indeed. Splashdown and a Booyah Bomb coming out from the side of the Winners POV. They've got a lot of clams sitting there. Vic jumps in, is they able to get the splat in. They do manage to survive as well, getting the splat onto Rachel. Pixel getting some clams in, trying to run against that conveyor belt, going in from behind, getting the push all the way down to 44 barrier, trying to get some splats there. The Hoenn does go down, Jack goes down, a Booyah Bomb at 9, that 9 narrowly avoids. Pixel trying to get some more clams and finds a clam, sinks it in. That is gonna be getting
doing a nice job maneuvering with that Dynamo, getting a really nice flick and taking Pixel out there.
Absolutely. Shara here now does have trying to pick up some clams with that. Jumps in, jumps out. Jumped in again.
Charge is doing a really good job here. Unfortunately, getting missiled and going down in a trade to the NZAP. Hoenn and Rachel here doing a really good job, taking out Barry and 9 and Chara in mid, trying to push here, maybe keep up with the paint here on the ramps and getting armor, which might help them here to push up. Maybe get some sort of actual points on the board, but they're gonna need a power clam. Either taking their pity or making a new power clam will do just fine for them, as we have Pixel here trying to throw clams as far away as possible from 9. Rachel here is making another push, getting a power clam in here, and Chara is doing their best. Unfortunately, they end up going into a trade with Vic again. 9 trying to paint behind and also not having any clams, unfortunately. Rachel not able to grab the 2 clams that end up going down, but unfortunately before Hoenn can throw any, the barrier does end up going back up. Hoenn being able to stick around here, getting missiles and popping them and just doing a good job of being a distraction here.
Absolutely. Those missiles are definitely a good way to get the distraction, as if you get targeted with the missiles, you get to know where that player is, and if you see that they're behind you, you're useless. You're like, what's someone doing there? But here we go, Winners POV starting to get a push going. Barry gets the splat with the bamboo onto 9. They're now sitting at a nice 23 clams, getting ready to make a push. Barry has the missiles at the ready to use them, does fire them away. Trying to get some more picks. 2 players go down on the side of 4 Moon. This might be the chance we need. Barry has 5 clams there, able to sing it. Vic goes, dunks in the clam basket. 3 of them coming out. Pixel also has a power clam there. This could be the KO. And 1 more clam. They need 1 more clam, and that will be the KO. But there is no one there at the basket. Jack coming in with that curling ball, but no, gets taken down.
This gives one last opportunity here for 4 Moons to get a push in. And they have a power clam and they have a pity. Unfortunately, Hoenn's gonna go down here to missiles from the bamboo, or just a shot from the bamboo it seems actually. And Barry's gonna throw more missiles at them. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like... Oh, and Chara picks up that power clam. Unfortunately, going down. And Hoenn's gonna jump out with the pity and throw it in. Hitting at 32, 29, 26.
Hoenn there gets the spot onto Vic. And there we go. Someone coming up from useless gets some more clams and setting him down to 17. Dynamo, last one remaining. How that will be, that is a soft wipe unless that Jet Scorcher can just round up in time. That will be game 3.
In favor of Winners POV. Yeah, no. 4 Moons did a really good job trying desperately to get the lead at the end, and unfortunately they just didn't have enough clams. Alongside, they got locked out pretty easily from Winners POV. Winners POV showing, hey, you're not gonna 3-0 us. We're gonna make you work for this.
Absolutely. But yeah, that'll be it for both me and Sky. Sky, where can we find you on socials?
You can find me over on Twitter and Twitch with the ats of @SkyTheDemon. My ats tend to pretty much be the same on just about every social media that you can probably find me on. And while we're at it, Mr. Head TO of Off the Dial, where can the lovely people find you?
You're gonna find me in the Off the Dial server complaining. You can catch me on Twitter at DJam987 or at Twitch at DJam98 because someone took 98 on Twitter, so I had to put a 7 on there. But yeah, there we go. Thanks for tuning in to both of us. Top Cut will be back in about 5 or so minutes once matches have been confirmed, and we'll catch you all very shortly. Don't go anywhere, and don't forget to stay tuned.
everyone, and welcome back to the Creator Clash brought to you by Off the Dial. We are now in Top Cut. We're going to be watching semis and grands. I am Cater, and I am joined here today by Quark.
Yes, I am Cork. I am freshly up for a box tournament, so apologies if my voice is halfway gone. But here we go, and we're going to be seeing
Understandable.
WAAFU versus Splatoon 3 WHO, I believe is their name.
Splatoon 2, more like Splatoon Who, but we're going to abbreviate to Splatoon Who for the sake of our tournament and our sanity. So,
What
we're going to be
sanity?
starting. Sanity, rhetorically speaking, we gotta keep up the image. We're gonna be
Yes.
starting on Anchovy Games Splat Zones. A classic to start this off on. Of course, it's Splat Zones. I don't expect anything less. This is gonna be a best of 5, so I'm excited to see what both of these teams have to bring to the table. We know people on these rosters. We've seen them around. On Splatoon Who, we've got Popgun, Milana, Kraken, and Shinex. On WAAFU, we've got Wadsum, Squidman, Poofoo, and Alice. All people that we've seen around.
Yeah, I dare say Popgun's gonna have a fun time with this one. What with the Hydra shooting straight across the zone and then just letting. I'm not sure what Milano Shinix we bring in. I think Shinix is a support player, but the idea for them, I bet, is just gonna be let Kraken run around and slap things.
Oh yeah, enable your brush, and that's going to be very, very fun because, yeah, as we know, Kraken is a diehard brush player, which makes for matches involving them very, very interesting and very fun to watch, especially because you don't get to see brush a lot of the time, unless you're watching Kingmaker, of course. So here we go. There are Hydras on
We've
both
got a
sides
Hydra
right now.
war.
Oh boy, this is going to be really interesting. We've got juniors, we've got that brush, K-Shot, we've got a try coming out, as well as that K-Pro too. So this is going to be really interesting. Splatoon Who bringing out, I believe that's a double armor comp. Actually, both sides probably.
That's 3 armors on the side of WAAFU, actually.
Oh yes, is it 3? Is it
so
3
Crack,
armors on both sides?
yeah,
I think
that looks like a V-Try, yeah. So it's like, yeah, so V-Try, V Junior, and C Hydra. That's gonna be.
A lot of armor.
Kraken is going to be crying in the sink with the amount of armor he's going to have to break.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta try the signal. Unfortunate. Well, we've got Splatoon Who with that not first captain. The captain zone right there. Who controls flipping right back and forth. As you see, a lot is going on in mid right now, but that's gonna result in 3 down on WAAFU, actually. Unfortunately, that's a delayed wipe with that Hydra going down. So, with all of these mines that the Hydra is able to place in the zone, Splatoon Who is going to take a convincing control. And right now, Popgun on this Hydra has a very, very nice perch. And we've got the other Hydra, Squidman, taking out, I believe that was the K-Shot on the side of Splatoon Who. Right now that timer is ticking down very convincingly, but we've got 2 armors available. Make that 1 as the Hydra goes down to a nicely placed bomb from Shinex right there. And Splatoon Who still in control, still has some specials at the ready there, and not letting up anytime soon. Look at all of this turn control that they are exercising. That's going to be 3 down again. That Hydra still the only one remaining and relentlessly getting targeted by those bombs from Shinex.
Yeah, really good mind plays, like you mentioned earlier. I like that. So that either way the other team tries to get into the zone, they'll just have a mine in their face and play them. Looks like WAAFU is going to make their last-ditch push, but it's not going to be, it is going to be, it's not going to be, I don't know. The zone is going back and forth. Mines probably saved Splatoon Who here. It probably kept just the pace of the zone that WAAFU didn't cap, and that's going to be a clean KO for Splatoon Who. Which, seeing as much as they say they don't know much who Splatoon is, they're pretty good at it.
That is true. I mean, you'd expect these people to know a little bit about the game that they're playing, but very nice, pretty convincing there, KO, as well as that nice 8KA from Shinex right there. That's, the junior assist kicking in. That's how you know you're doing your job, so good job to them. Alright, well, that was a quick first game.
Now Popgun's gonna be quite happy again. Inkblot Tower,
yeah.
as is the other Hydra main. Slow map, very stally, all sorts of nice purchase for the Hydra, just be like, no. Also a good brush map, because of all the ledges, so.
Definitely.
Also
Not
a good
every
try
day.
map, so. I
Not
feel like
every
it's gonna be
day.
good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry.
I was gonna say not every day you get to see 2 Hydras go at it against each other, so this is not that common of a sight.
2 slow backlines, this economy, in this meta?
In
How dare
this
they?
meta?
But it's got armor, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's the armor that saves it there. Unfortunately, you don't get to see stuff like this all too often, which just makes it so much sweeter that we get to see these weapon choices out here in the wild today.
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, triple armor is like simultaneously the definition of meta to, and then also the definition of what are you doing? Why are you running so much of armor? Where are your missiles?
Yeah, I did actually get to cast triple armor again earlier today, so this is kind of like a throwback to the other tournament I was doing earlier today. So that is a lot of fun. I do get to see it again. Like you said, we're moving on to Tower on Inkblot, which, like you said, a lot of places for that Hydra to stall out. All of those places for pressure, but also you do still have some low ledges that the brush can take a lot of advantage of. Wonder which brush that Kraken will decide to pull out on this map.
Probably the V brush because that's Kraken's favorite, and that's the brush I've seen him most. Mostly that whole throw a bomb, pop a splash down, and the chip damage will probably combo enough to kill someone thing. And also because splashdown is good, and yep, that's the V brush. There's now a Triad side so too, and Dapple's coming out. This is going to be interesting. The Dynamo is going to be looking for a lot of space, and they're going to have that Booyah as a bit of a win condition that they can stop the tower, and if they've got the lead, all they need to do is hold until they need to hit that Booyah bomb. Alice playing Dapples, so both sides have two very rushdown weapons, tries on each side, and then the brush and the Dapples. Which is good, because there's a lot of nice corners for this map for you to play a rushdown weapon. Alice fighting Kraken one-on-one. Kraken's just like, you thought you could roll around me? No. No rolls. Rush
and
just
Kraken's
goes
gonna...
slap, 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 slap.
Slap, 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 indeed. Kraken's going to take advantage of that little box here that you can use to get up onto this plat here and take down Alice yet again. Very much going on the aggression here. Unfortunately, they're going to get taken out as well, but this opens the door for the rest of their team. Really now that Hydra's just sitting on the tower and chilling out, although that will change with this. Oh, it won't change. It will now. Oh, that's unfortunately sometimes that just happens with Dynamo, and that is going to be a full wipe on the side of WAAFU as well. Milana, you can see just again taking the time to chill out on the tower. Shinex here doing a little bit of sharking on this V-try. You can see that he's diverting attention to him, still getting those picks as well, and that armor saving him. Watson going down right there, and that looks like it's going to be the KO with a wipe on the side of WAAFU to end that off.
Yeah. I'd like to point out that we saw when that Dynamo attacked the Hydra, Popgun had really good movement there, managing to jump out of the way to avoid being killed by Dynamo, and then still pivot his aim to shoot Alice, which is just really well done. And then Watson, another great play at the end, using the armor and what little paint they had just to draw off the entire opposing team. Not Watson, Shinex, sorry. 2 tries, and they're 2 top-level tries, same difference.
Yeah, sometimes that just happens. You mix up people, but you know, we've seen it's really cool to see names that we know. I don't always know names on teams, so it's nice to have names that I do know. For
another
our next...
name we know is Humpback Pump Track.
Yes, we are going here for our third match of this set, Rainmaker on Humpback. Oh boy, I know I have a few choice feelings about this map mode. Not very positive necessarily. It's a map. It's a map.
Better than Rainmaker Muscle Forge.
That is true, but also that's not a very high bar.
Yes, it's going to be an interesting match, I think, because Popgun's probably still going to play Hydra. He's just going to probably play a little faster because it's Rainmaker. I mean, maybe we'll see a FLC or Devi thing where V Hydra comes out. Though I think for the side of WAAFU, they're just... Well, one, they need to do, I think, a bit of a better job countering Popgun, because they've had issues, especially in the slower modes, they've had issues in getting in, though I think the fact that it is Rainmaker may help with that, and they'll have the Rainmaker itself to counter the Hydra as well. What do you think?
Yeah, the Rainmaker can be very, very powerful when played correctly.
Popgun pulls out a sploosh.
That is the polar opposite of a Hydra
Why does so many backlines play sploosh? Like, I just see so many of them with sploosh bucket. That's true.
It's good for Rainmaker, and anchors are kind of slow on Rainmaker, like you said, and they might have to play a little bit faster. Why not just go all the way fast? Alice has switched over to this vanilla Octo Brush here, and we have so many things going on in mid, but that's going to be Splatoon WHO coming out on top. Only the Jet, the C-Jet, left alive on WAAFU. Squidman on the C-Jet here, no big surprise. This is Raymaker after all, this is the Ray thing that you're gonna see popping. But ooh, that Ray is getting cancelled by Shinex. Raymaker's gonna get taken down at 41, and we're seeing a lot of fighting going on up here. That Raymaker inching closer, 30 now, but that's not necessarily that's not a safe lead on Humpback by any means. People are gonna pick that up, bring it back to mid by way of this rail here. Looks like they're gonna try and take this left side, but it is not unguarded. We've got all of these bombs, all of these missiles drumming, and they're unfortunately going to swim directly into that bomb because what other choice do they have? And that was Popgun's bomb as well. Popgun has this stamp, not going to use that, opting to take the Raymaker instead, and meanwhile we did see a 3 down on the side of WAAFU, but that Ray is going to be victorious now. Though it did get cancelled, it does do its job.
Yes, and I'd like to point out something about the comps that probably helped Splatoon 2 play so aggressively is they can outpaint WAAFU, because Brush puts out a lot more paint than you think, and then Sploosh, Junior, and K-Shot. So much paint, so very many splat bombs, and a suction bomb or two here too. It's just going to be really good defensively because they can keep so much map control, and offensively, they can just keep moving forward, which, if anyone has watched Low Ink in the past couple months, you know that holding forward, short-range weapons, and throwing a bunch of bombs is kind of the best way to win, and very similar comp to what we actually saw Lowitz doing back in Low Ink too, except there's a brush instead of another sploosh.
Yeah, but it's still similar and it still works. That is going to be the end of our semifinal set. So we'll see Splatoon WHO on to grand finals against the winner of 4 Moons versus Winners POV, which is the other set currently going on right now. So we're going to be taking just a short break while we wait for the result of that set, and then we'll be right back at you guys with grand finals. Stay fresh!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the grand finals of the Battle of the IPL Heads or something.
Not quite the Battle of the IPL Heads. We have the grand finals of the Creator Clash, brought to you by Off the Dial. Although you are technically correct, because we've got Splatoon 2, more like Splatoon WHO, versus 4 Moons. And on the rosters of both teams, we've got an IPL Head TO. On the roster of Splatoon WHO, we've got Popgun. On the roster of 4 Moons, we have Hoenn Hero. So,
Don't forget about Kraken Mare. Actually,
that is true.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
referring to the two organization heads, Kraken and
I am
Hoenn.
so sorry.
And Popgun's also a head TO. So we've got 3 head TOs of one organization in the same place, about to fight each other.
Very
and
much
whoever
so.
wins gets the whole organization and all the money that we totally have.
Oh yeah, we definitely have money. Yup,
IPL has like thousands of dollars in shell companies in Bermuda or something.
We are so not broke. Anyways, we also have more recognizable names. Well, I actually don't know.
These commentators do not speak for IPL, and
opinions are our own. We don't actually have any dealings in the financial side of IPL. With that disclaimer out of the way. Tune in next time and find out. With that disclaimer out of the way, we're gonna be moving on to look at our maps here. A little bit of comedy here. We got Manta Rainmaker to start this off. Oh boy, Manta Rainmaker. It's a map.
So Popgun's pulling the splish out again, and they're gonna do the same thing they did on Rainmaker Humpback, which are also incidentally the 2 maps where we saw very similar strategies by Lois to win Loic. And I'm gonna go back to that again because Double Sploosh is based.
Double Sploosh is pretty based. I will say, it's very, very cool. We'll probably see, like you said, Popgun bring that Sploosh 7 out again. Would be surprised not to see it. Let us wait and see, and
it appears we are surprised.
7. Well, we will see a Sploosh 7 not from Popgun. Yes, we've been thrown for a loop. A Sploosh 7, but not from the player we expected it from. On the side of 4 Moons, we've also got, that's a Jet Sculpture. I believe that's a vanilla Jet Sculpture as well, which does surprise me. I would expect the C-Jet, especially on a Rainmaker map like this, but understandable, have a nice day. We've also got that Octave Brush as well as K-Shot and the Zap for armor, so relatively standard comp right there. Unfortunately, that Sploosh 7 has gone down very quickly, but what do you expect from the Sploosh, huh? You don't really expect anything else. We got missiles coming out from both sides. Moana got a lot of things coming at them right now. Unfortunately, going to go down to that Ancient Chara, looking for more picks. Not quite going to get it. Unfortunately, Chara being the only member of their team alive right now. Just going to have to bide his time for a little bit. Going to pop out here. Nice Shark to get that kill, though. So it's going to be just... Oh, battle of both brushes right now. We do see, I believe that is Kraken on the other brush, right? Yes.
Yeah. No, Milana's playing the brush. Kraken is just playing Kraken, who... Go. If you saw Kraken being K-Shot, I'd be scared, because Kraken has talked at length about how not great his aim is. But yes, now we see Splatoon, who is pushing up, going for the cut. They're likely to get lead here. Let's Chara intercept, and Chara, well, intercepts, but not in time. Hoenn getting a nice pick on Milana, and now going to Pop, and they're looking like they could start another push, but and then that's oh, I thought it was gonna be Kraken, because that was such a Kraken move, but it was Shinex instead.
Wow, that's impressive. Shinex was able to get a double with that Rainmaker and make it all the way down to 30, and they're continuing to inch this forward. Somehow Splatoon, who is able to pick this up right from underneath 4 Moon's nose. Hoenn's gonna stop that by resetting it, but not before they get all the way to 19. Very nice lead on Manta, but not necessarily winnable, especially with how fast this map can snowball. We still got a whole 3 minutes of game left to watch, unless we see a knockout.
Yeah, it's worth noting that as much as we expected Popgun for this push, Shinex is top back from this push with Popgun right behind him. And Hydra can be strong as well. There's a lot of good sight lines, and at least defensively you can take up some great positions. And offensively, if you get on top of your opponent's bunker, shoot down on them, it's gonna be hard for them to stop the Rainmaker while taking fire from you and Rainmaker shots. And to that end, we're seeing 4 Moons backed up into their base again, try to get out, but they're gonna go 3 down yet again, and the hammer is coming for Rachel, and, well, does hammer things, and crushes them flat.
That right there is going to be a delayed wipe, so this Rainmaker is going to keep on moving forward. It does get taken out right here again. Ooh, the insta-pop! Shinex falling victim to that. Very nice placement from Hoenn right there. Taking this K-Shot, looking for another pick Are they gonna get it? Does not get it. Teammate steals it. Unfortunate. But still, we've got presence maintained around this Rainmaker, so it's likely going to reset. Missiles getting fired off. Rainmaker does reset back to mid, so we're going to see this mid fight continue. Right now, it is still Splatoon who are very, very, very much in control. They have that Rainmaker pop as well. Chara up here on this bunker looking to dive down into mid, get something done. Two of his teammates are down though. He's down as well, so that's going to make things a lot more difficult. Splatoon who's picking up that Rainmaker yet again. Jet Squelcher here though, that missed. Very, very valuable miss. And missiles all on the Rainmaker are going to take them out. Very nice use of the combo.
Yeah, really good use of bombs and like mostly bombs by Splatoon 2 to clear the bunker, and then they use the brush to push up. And then using all that bomb spam yet again to force their way through, cut, and get that pick on the Jet Squelcher to at least delay 4 moves. Now Shinex is sharking, just kind of waiting for someone to come at them. Comes out with the hammer, crushes one, goes for another, doesn't quite get it, but they're going to be able to set up, and they get another! And they get
Very
3!
nice.
That was an incredible hammer right there, going for the quad, and will get the quad with a trade Hoenn, taking down Shinex close to probably the K shots range. But that was just so good. The hammer, Shinex knowing if I swell up this wall with the hammer, I can just crush them. They're too close to the edge. And
Yes.
that's what happened.
Oh, definitely. You absolutely love to see Hammer play like that. 9 here on the Zap. Armor at the ready, popping that. They know that there are enemies around and gonna use the full potential of the Zap. Gets one, looking for a second. Gets that second as well. We're seeing Red pop off everywhere right now. 30 or so seconds left. 2 down on the side of Splatoon, who so far Moon is gonna take this opportunity, try and get this push going. Shinex on that Sploosh 7 drops, gets picked off. Rachel on the Rainmaker backing up a little bit, trying to find a way. Looks like Char is going to lead them. Oh, not through cut. Over up onto this bunker here, but they're a little bit stuck right now. They need to start getting these picks. Missiles out from the side of Splatoon who, and ooh, 1 down, 2 down now on the side of 4 Moons. So we've only got the Jet who can't use their missiles because they have the Rainmaker, and now Shinex on this Sploosh is going to force them back into mid because Chara is down. That entire hammer is going to get thrown at the Rainmaker. They're just continuously being forced to back up right now, and you can see Kraken here on this brush looking to end that, and there it is. There is the end of the game.
A really good ending plays by Kraken using the brushes. Well, whatever you, dash thing to move across those grates and get a lot of good picks, and then just run at the Rainmaker, because if you don't have to worry about painting forward and can just move quickly through the clone sync, you're gonna
Oh my gosh.
be able to close so quickly.
Shinex with the 18 KA as well. That's the power of Sploosh 7 on Rainmaker, baby. So many things can happen, and that hammer triple leading into the quad was just perfection.
Yeah, Hammer's
Right.
so good on this map because of all the tight corners.
Oh, yeah.
So 7 of
Definitely.
those, I'm sure 4 Moons was not having a good time. Now we're going on to another very good for rushdown, but also good down for backline map. Makeover. How many try slashers do you
Makeover.
think we'll see?
Yes, the answer is yes. Oh, this is one of the maps where you see those fall-off weapons. Tri-slosher, regular slosher. Sometimes you see some rollers pop out here. You don't see rollers too often. Carbon, most likely, if we'll see it at all, but I don't think we'll see that. I don't know. I don't know if we'll see the Hydra here again. Maybe we'll see
think we
that
will.
Jet come back. Maybe, but that Hydra might also have to play a little bit faster because this is Clams. Although it is a relatively small Clams map, a little bit less distance you gotta traverse in comparison to other maps like Pit. So it could work.
I think it's a very good map for Hydra in a lot of ways, though, because defensively the Hydra has such big sightlines, and once you can push up, again, really big sightlines, a lot of places you can shoot at, a lot of space you can control as long as your teammates cover you a little bit. And as long as Splatoon who is painting, Popgun can just move up when they have space to and put a lot of fire down. And I think
Yeah,
otherwise
definitely.
we'll see from that team, we'll see the brush try combo come out with that double armor,
Yeah.
which is to let them push, and then just a bunch of rush thrown weapons to make every little corner pain and suffering for 4 moves.
Yeah.
And there it is!
There's the try. There's no other tries, but there we go. Chara's bringing out that Kenza Rapid Blaster. Of course, as Chara introduced himself, he's one of 3 Rapid Blaster players, so I'm excited to see how that plays out for him right here. And I'm also very excited to see this Hydra in action. I mean, we've already been seeing it, but we've seen how Popkin's team is building that, is really, really helping to enable that, making the Hydra work even in places where you might not see it, like Clam Blitz, doing a little bit of little bit of side game here, actually a little bit on the lower ground right now. A couple people going down, but otherwise we're just waiting on either team to find a big opening, to find something or anything of the sort. And right now, Four Moons is the one in control. They have a player advantage of 2 people, although we do see that trade in mid, as well as the members of Splatoon who coming back that could change that very, very quickly.
Yeah, that's the point out, as much as Clem's is slow mode. I think Top Gun's movement itself is going to make up for it quite a bit, considering how we just saw him moving around, even with so little Pentagon. A lot of popping missiles, that's going to be 2 down on the side of Four Moons. You got good picks by Splatoon here. They just need to build their Clems up, they're close. They can definitely make a power here and put some serious damage, but Char's looking like he's going to get in the way a little bit. The mist will slow down Popgun. Popgun's just going to back up, Clems are going in. Another member is still down performance. Kraken goes down the side of Splatoon WHO. A few more points we're going for Splatoon WHO. Another member for 4 Moons going down. 2v2 situation right here. Popgun tried to hold off Char, but Rapid Blaster gets Hydra. It's a tricky fight, especially if a Torpedo comes out. Milana throwing a couple more Clemson, getting Splatoon WHO down to 53. And Kraken goes in for even more using the brush to its best effect and gets away and is going back for even more and is just stalling like crazy.
Now gets away!
Things.
Oh my gosh! The power of the brush right there. Kraken is back and looking for more, finally getting taken out, but not before that gets all the way to 32, which is a bit feat considering how strong that defense we saw from Four Moons was. They were locked in, and there is so much purple now around that basket as they finally gotten that down. We got about 3 minutes left in this match. So Four Moons still has ample time to gather and collect clams. Oh, and they're so close, but unfortunately that suction bomb is just not having it today. Meanwhile, Milana here has clams, has a little bit of a path. We've got a one down situation on both sides, but we also have 2 power clams on the side of Four Moons. So if they play this right, they could have a really big push. But they need this opening and they need these picks first.
And they got one down. They've got one special cut. It is a chance for Splatoon WHO to move up, and so I think the missiles from Four Moons will slow them down at least for now. And I'd like to point out something about we saw Kraken's earlier gameplay. I think we'll continue to see as Splatoon WHO manages to keep map control and starts to push. Is the Kraken is just gonna run. He's always just gonna run. He's gonna play stupid aggressive, and it's gonna work because there's just a brush barreling towards you, and they can move so well in so many different ways because of Brush's mobility tools. That I think that's probably the biggest thorn in the side of Splatoon 2, because they can deal with the Hydra with the Rapid Blaster, and they've got weapons that work well against Tri, but just the way that Kraken plays is going to be such a headache for them, and already has been.
That is how Brush works, unfortunately. And speaking of Kraken, we got another power clam in going in by Kraken themselves, and already wreaking havoc with their teammate Shinex. And we've got another power clam going and bringing that all the way to 26, another to bring that to 23, 3 down at the side of Four Moons to make that 2 down now with the respawns. K-Shot's gone down the side of Splatoon 2, but that does not show any sign of slowing down. Popgun's bringing in more clams. We're at 8 now, just need a few more. You can see Popgun going back, but Char is on his tail. So doesn't look like they're able to pick those up. Very close to a KO though. And 8 to 100 is no small feat, especially since they only have about a minute left. Time is running out for Four Moons.
Yeah, really nice splashdown placement that Kraken there too, because they just popped it just as Ho and fell on it, which good timing. And now Shinex is still in Splatoon WHO's base. Milan's got another power clam. This is going to be likely another push, and this is good chance for the KO. Kraken's got splashdown line. They're shirking around. The brush going in, Kraken popping their splashdown. The power clam missing, and then it's dunked, and that's going to be another game for Splatoon WHO. Four Moons is putting up more of a fight against them, but Splatoon WHO's like, lose in Top Cut? We can't do that. We can't have that.
Oh, maybe they'll go undefeated. Who knows? We saw them have that great set previously that we streamed. Shinex with the 15 KA, Kraken with the 11. Very nice numbers. Char also as well with the 12. So we've got pretty high numbers on both sides right now. Maybe we'll see a complete sweep. Maybe we'll see a game 5. Who knows? But we're gonna go to Piranha Pit Splat Zones for this next match.
And Kraken's gonna be happy about this one, as is Popgun. Because Brush is just obnoxious here, a lot of ledges to play. Splashdown's going to be annoying on a double zone like map. This because you can stall the zones, or just get a nice free cap jumping down from ramp onto the zone. And so many sightlines for Hydra. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the jet come out for Four Moons, and Kind of hoping that Popgun plays Luna Foster. I don't know why. That would make more sense for Entry Tower, but I just at some point I want to see Hoenn play Luna Blaster here because I know he can, and
Well,
Double
Hormoon
Blaster
better
would be
win.
hilarious.
It
Yeah,
would
they
be. It
better
would be
take this to Entry
amazing.
Tower. It'd be great to see like Rapid Luna or something first like that. I've
Oh yeah, the
that comp
dynamic
a
between
couple
that would be
times.
amazing.
As long as your other two weapons get paid, it's actually terrifying because you just can't
Just gotta
stand on
enable him.
tower.
You just gotta enable your blaster. That's all you gotta do. Just like you enable a Nautilus or a Hydra or a Carbon. Sometimes you just gotta enable your blaster. You know.
And if you enable your blaster, they can just keep anyone sitting on towers. And then you run two heavy painting missile weapons to make your opponent's lives suck even more, because that's what evil people who just like chip damage like to do. But for now, zones, pit. This is a fun map because it scores pretty high a lot in terms of the score not counting down very far, and that's a 10 to Umbrella, and whoa, we got some comp changes.
Whoa, we do. Indeed. Was that Chara on the Dynamo? It's a little bit blurry on my end. I can't see. But,
I believe that is, in fact, Chara.
Oh,
And we've got
boy.
a double backline coming out of 4 Moons, which might work, but I think it might also hurt them because both of those backlines are going to be hard countered by Hydra, as well as the Tent being able to stave off damage from both of them, because Dynamo's slow and Jet's low rate of fire. And then, of course, the slower comp means that once the paint's there and Kraken can get close enough, Kraken and also Milana are going to be able to close in, deal the damage, and then of course Milana's also got all those missiles that I'm sure are going to be coming out, so
we're already
I
seeing
think double backline's an interesting adjustment to deal with Splatoon 2's aggression, but it might also hurt them, because Splatoon 2's comp will work well against the backlines that we're chasing.
I mean, this is already what we're seeing here. Char's Last Ditch, not Last Ditch necessarily, but Booyah Bomb losing, neutralizing and taking a zone, but it doesn't last very long because as you can see, Flow Weapon at a lot of risk to that rush there, has to stay up here, has to play it safe. They have that Booyah Bomb again, narrowly missing the Stamp Snipe. Looks like Char's gonna go for that far zone there. Believe that does make it losing control of the zone for just a second, but time is running out and Char knows this. Going for Paka, not getting the pick! And there is your grand finals.
Yes.
Quick and
that
decisive and fast, and that was how Splatoon 2 handled their previous set as well. Props to both of these teams, but in the end, these are your winners of the Creator Clash, everybody.
Yes, and I think at the end there, Char just got stuck on ledge. Like, they couldn't use the Dynamo to do Dynamo things because Popgun or a Flying Stamp or whatever just did not let them get off that ledge, and you can't really paint much from that ledge unless you're spamming Booyah.
Unfortunate, but that is how it is sometimes. Well, that does wrap up our tournament. Thank you, everybody that came to watch. It was amazing seeing these content creators that we all know and love come together in a draft tournament run so well, as it always is, by Off the Dial. Thank you to Wolf, our amazing streamer, as well as everybody on staff. And thank you to you, Court, for commentating with me. It was a pleasure. Where can the wonderful people in the audience find you on the internet?
You can find me at StrangeCourt on Twitter. I just retweet art and spread immune synchronization. I also like to actually one other thing is that Off the Dial has registration open for I think its 4th anniversary at otd.inc/IDG. IDTGA. Words are hard and abbreviations are harder. But yes,
it's a tongue twister, but
it's dangerous to go alone because it's fun. And we might commentate you again.
You might get the honor of being casted by us again. Woohoo! Anyways, you can find me on Twitter at Cater_, where I post art and talk a lot about the things that I commentate. So that does it for us. Thank you, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day or night, depending on your time zone. With that, we'll be signing off until it's dangerous to go alone. Sign up, as Quark mentioned, and stay fresh.
Gay, homosexual, gay.